done with Texans owner Bob McNair. And like I said, for those of y'all who listened 2 weeks ago, I defended Bob McNair and said that because he has, because he's dealing with cancer, and you know what? Let me stop right there. I'm going to get our call on the line. Call, are you there?
Yes. B, what's going on, Big Sarge?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Look, on the line with us is former All-Pro center for the Oakland Raiders, Barrett Robbins. And B, hold on, because I want you to chime in on what I'm about to say right quick. And I want you to chime in on this. So I was saying that I defended Bob McNair 2 weeks ago and said that, when you have chemo brain, after going through chemotherapy, that's what they call it. It distorts your brain a little bit. By having chemo brain, you're going to say some things out of turn. And so, B, I don't know if you've been listening, but we talked about when he said the inmates running the prison last year.
Yeah, yes.
This year, he's saying that the owner of the Carolina Panthers was probably just joking around with, and that's not a joking matter with everything that the Carolina Panthers have going on right now to the point they had to sell the team. And this is what I want to get into because I want to ask you something specifically. So as the NFL owners arrived at the meeting, they are split. The owners are split on what to do with the anthem protest. So Chris Johnson came out. He's Christopher Johnson, who plays for the New York Jets. He says that he can't speak on how other people run their teams, but I just think that trying to forcibly get the players to shut up is a fantastically bad idea. He also said that because that was a proposal one of the proposals is to force them to be out there and stand during the anthem. The other one was to have them sitting in the locker room until the anthem is finished playing. So Bob McNair, Houston Texans owner Bob McNair, said this: we're going to deal with it in such a way that people will understand we want everybody to respect our country, and respect our flag. Our playing field, that's not the place for political statements. That's not the place for religious statements. It's the place for football. That's what needs to be. That's what they need to be doing. That's what we need to be doing. And so my thing is, first of all, Mr. McNair, the whole anthem protest was not about disrespecting the country or the flag. They came out and they said that it was because innocent civilians were dying at the hand of law enforcement officials. Unarmed civilians were dying at the hands of law enforcement officials. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, B, and this is what I want to ask you. So when you were in the league, what did they tell you all? Were you all forced to go on it and for the anthem, or could you do what you wanted to do?
We always went out and did the anthem. There was nothing like this. This is such a time of change in our world right now. I think it's a little more complex than just saying me as the owner has a better opinion on it than you do because you're a player and I'm an owner. I think it's a little bit more than that. And I also think the young people around here aren't stupid either. And what about their rights to have a silent protest in the future? What are their rights going to end up being for some of the stuff we have to live through ourselves? So, to me, it's a little bit, wrong to say, okay, well, I'm the owner and this is my opinion and that's what it is.
Yeah. And you know what, though? And B, because I've done some research going back, and during the national anthem, sometimes players were like doing drugs, having sex, like they didn't even care. And to bring it, PG-13, sometimes they were getting taped. They were preparing for the game because they were never forced for the anthem. And that's what I can't understand.
And a lot of fans are walking. Barrett, this is Mike Tula, co-host.
Mike.
What's up, man? A lot of fans are walking to get a burger or refill their soda as well while the anthem is going on. So
exactly.
I personally think the easiest way to do it is keep the fellas in. Let them have the Lord's Prayer. Do something. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of things you can do in the locker room. I don't know that it's that big of a deal. If it's that important for the fans to have the national anthem, then let them celebrate it without the players. I think that's probably the only solution to this that's going to be worth saying someone didn't get not listened to or something.
Man, and that's what I'm saying too. Once again, you all, we have a former All-Pro center, Barrett Robbins from the Oakland Raiders. His statement was, the football field isn't a place for a political statement, religious statements, and this, that, and another. Well, then what is the anthem? The anthem is a political statement.
What does the inmates running the asylum have to do with it in the first place then?
Oh, he said no. And see, that's what I'm glad you said that, B, because Arturo, I need you to use your computer. I bet you Arturo doesn't even have a smartphone. Hey, Arturo, let somebody hold your flip phone. Let somebody hold your flip phone while you use a smartphone and Google it, because he says the inmates are running the prison. The narrative got switched to cover up for him, especially in local radio and local radio and social media. They was like, he meant asylum. Well, he said prison.
I think a lot of that.
Well, that is a good point. That is a very good point. That's very direct, saying the prison.
Exactly.
Right, but a flashpoint when I heard that, I meant, oh, he means this versus that, but he means the patients running the asylum, because that's the more common,
appropriate.
Yeah, that's what you hear, right? So is he saying the same thing, just using different words, but at the same time, you being the owner of, the NFL franchise, you are the overseer of your organization. You have to, be cognizant of every single thing. It's just like being an actor, just like being a director, just like being a politician.
Yeah.
Everything you say is going to be, it's on record it's on record for consumption, and it's going to be twisted, and no matter however.
Yeah, I think the fact that I didn't know about the chemotherapy and his health or what have you. I think that has to be something that's taken into account by everybody, not just us, but by the other owners and stuff like that. When it comes to actually having a solution, what happened to the Clippers a while back was a lot of the same thing. He was older in age, and it just the game kind of outgrew him, and all of a sudden it's I guess I don't know, just the racial thing's a whole different story. But to me, the most important part about it is that this is not against our military. This has nothing to do with a problem with our military, and that's where I think the public turned it around and made it another reason to hate on athletes for. Right?
Yes, exactly. And B, we're going to move on because I want to get your opinion on something else. But it's funny to me that a lot of these people switched that narrative and changed it up to protect him or whatever the case may be. But I'm gonna tell you like this: the mood down at NRG when that happened, it just totally destroyed the mood. Everybody, I think they sent, if I'm not mistaken,
Hopkins called it in.
Yeah,
for one day.
Yeah. I think that actually the entire staff went home for the rest of the day because they just couldn't take it. They couldn't believe what they said either. So anyway, moving right along. B, you're a Houston Rockets fan, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm now. I have to preface this by saying, my number one team is the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, we go, baby.
The first time I ever saw a game was in Hemisphere Arena, and George Gervin and Artis Gilmore were playing. So that's a long time. So but I've never rooted against Houston when they weren't playing the Spurs.
Yes.
Man, for that I forgive him for not letting Kevin Carter or John Thornton run by and sack Rich Gannon a little bit more in the AFC Championship game. I was a huge Titans fan, man. I saw Holcomb and all them fumble and then give up points. I was like, man, dude, it's over. It's over. But now I know he's a Spurs fan, man, dude. Yeah, Mr. Robbins, baby.
Look, so B, but I was saying that because the Rockets won their 60th game on Saturday, which broke the franchise record for the 93-94 championship team. My question is it now championship or bust? Because they're probably going to win about 65 games this year, unless they start resting people. But they're going to win about 65 games. If they don't win a championship, is that a bust for them?
Well, yeah. I think with the attitude that the Houston's always had, and when we won our 2 championships, we showed what being a champion was all about.
Yeah.
And I do believe that is the expectations of this franchise, and I fully say that and agree with it.
Bear, how much do you trust in James Harden to carry them into the NBA Finals, given the recent play?
I trust in the fact that he has the ability to overcome his past playoff struggles. I trust that fully. I think it's a matter of time. And Chris Paul adds so much moxie to this team, and I mean so much unselfishness and fair play, and that's the thing they didn't have last year. And you could tell Harden felt like he was alone because it was all isolation ball. You can't do that and win in the playoffs all the way through.
Hey B, I just told Tula that they probably could go far as long as they don't have to face the Spurs.
Well, you know, if Kawhi might be back, and he's a great player, and to me the biggest part about that is no one really wants to make it with to be the team without their best players, but Curry's down, and that's going to be a tough one to come back from.
Yeah,
and it's going to put a lot of pressure on KD right now, and he's the man, so he can do what he wants to do because no one can guard him. But at the same time, without that help with Curry and his offense, it's going to be different. I know one thing. I don't want to see Portland if I'm anybody right now. They're hot as can be.
Yeah, they are, and those shooters, exactly. And B, because we're about to be up against a break, man, so I'm going to have to let you go in just a second. I was
no worries.
You made a good point earlier that I had said it earlier as well. So great minds think alike. Maybe I should go AAP, APLLS, Apollos. Anyway, without Chris Paul, James Harden has looked lethargic the last two games. And I don't know if it's from fatigue or if it's just, reverting back to when he was the only all-star on the team. So, yeah, that was a great point, man.
Yeah, he's not going to be as comfortable without him. I mean, having him now and not being with him, he's not going to be as comfortable as he is because Chris Paul is the ultimate facilitator, man. And we need him back. I know that.
Exactly. And so thank you for calling in. Y'all just got through hearing the great expertise of Mr. Barrett Robbins, former All-Pro center from the Oakland Raiders. And B, I will be calling you probably tomorrow or Wednesday for that other information that we talked about this weekend.
Yes, sir. Sounds good, brother.
Thank you for calling in, man.
Take it easy, Mike.
Later, Barrett.
All right. Hey.